Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So for today's tutorial I'm going to be using two colors basically, that's white and blue. They are both 100% acrylic yarn. Then I'm also going to be using a 5mm hook, as you can see here, then a cutter, a darning needle, and some stitch markers. Very important. So let's get started. Okay, first I'm going to start by making a magic ring like this. Then I'm going to chain 3, 2, 3. This counts as our first double crochet. So I'm going to make another double crochet into the magic ring, then one more, then next we're going to chain 2. So we just make 2 chains and make 3 half double crochets again into the magic ring. 2, and the final one. Okay, I'll chain 2 again, then repeat. So I'm just going to make 3 half double crochets again into the magic ring. So now we're just going to make 3 half double crochets again, then we'll chain 2. So we'll just repeat this round the magic ring. Okay, so it's going to be 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets, chain 2, and each 3 half double crochet, let's say, is a cluster. So we're going to have 6 clusters into the magic ring. Okay, so we'll just continue like this. So from here I'm going to chain 2 and continue the process until we get to the end of the magic ring, and I'll meet you back. Okay, now that I've made it around the magic ring, I'm just going to finish up by chaining 2. Then I'm going to connect it at the top of the chain 3 we did at the beginning. I'm just going to connect it with a slip stitch like this. This is what a slip stitch look like. So I'm just going to pull the yarn through, so secure it. See, now I have total of 6 chain spaces and 6 clusters. Okay, so from here I'm just going to slip stitch until we reach our first chain space. So I'll just make 2 slip stitches until we reach the chain space. Then from here I'm going to chain 3, which counts again as our first double crochet. So I'm going to go into that space with 2 more double crochets. 1, 2. That's making a total of 3 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 2. Then into that same space we're going to make 3 double crochets again. So I'm just going to add the last double crochet. Okay, so that's our first corner. So now I'm just going to chain 2 again and repeat the same thing into the next chain space. So that is 1 double crochet, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets again. Then we're just going to chain 2, then repeat into the next chain space. You're just going to repeat round like this. So 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 2. Then put 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. So after this, you're just going to continue the same process round until you reach the ending, and I'll meet you back. So now we've made it to the end of row 2, and I'm just making the final double crochet there. So what you're going to do is chain 2, and you're going to slip stitch into the top of the first chain stitches we made. So that's to mark the end of row 2. So we're just going to repeat the same process. This is what your work should be looking like. It should look like this with six corners. So to continue to row 3, you're just going to make 2 slip stitches until you get, just make slip stitches until you get to the corner. So this is a corner. From here, just going to repeat the same thing. This is a corner, this is a side. From here, just going to chain 3, make 2 double crochets, okay, chain 2. Then we're just going to make 3 double crochets into that same chain space because it's a corner. Okay, so chain 2 after that, chain 2. Then this is how a corner should look, right? So into a side now, I'm just going to make 3 double crochets like this. 1, 2, 3. So that's what you do for a side. So you chain 2, then into a corner, the next corner, you're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets into that corner. So this is 3. So chain 2, then another 3 double crochets. So from here you realize that for the corners we're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Then for side we'll just make 3 double crochets just like this. So 3, that's for sides. So chain 2 and you just repeat this round. So in every corner you make 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 2, this is 2, sorry, 3, you chain 2, make 3 double crochets into that same space, so chain 2, then we'll make 3 double crochets into the next space, and we just continue round like that, and I'll meet you back. So welcome back. I'm just going to make the last double crochet for the side. So then I'm going to chain 2 and slip stitch at the top to join. So this is what it should be looking like at this point. We have a total of 3 rows. So next we're just going to move again with slip stitches until we reach the space corner. Okay, then for the corner, these are the 2 corners and these are sides. So for the corner you chain 3 once again, make 2 half double crochets in. That chaining of 3 stands for 1 double crochet. So you're going to make 2 more, chain 2, and put 3 more double crochets in that same space because it's a corner. Three, chain 2. So for the sides next, we're going to go in with 3 double crochets. This is 1, 2, 3. Okay, and chain 2. So for the next side, we're going to do the same thing. Insert 3 double crochets in that space. 3. Then chain 2. Then into the corner, we're going to put 3 half double crochets. 3 double crochets, chain 2, just 3 double crochets, third one, chain 2, 2, and put another 3 double crochets in that same space, making it a corner. Next we're going to chain 2 and repeat the same thing into the sides and corners. So now we're just going to continue going on like this, and I'll meet you at the end of row 12. Okay, now we're almost done with row 12. I'm just making the final double crochets. So just chain 2 here. For the side, we'll make 3 double crochets, 3. Okay, chain 2, then slip stitch into the top. To join. So from here, this is what your work should be looking like. This is a total of 12 rounds. Okay, it's like this. So there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, so now at this point we're going to change colors. If you join two of the corners together that are very close, that are closest to each other, if you join them like this, you're going to get something like this. Okay, this is how your work should be looking at this point. So now from this point we are going to have a change of color. So I'm just going to slip stitch once. Okay, chain 1, and we're just going to cut our yarn like this. Okay, so just pull that one through to put it in place, to tighten it like this. So now we're going to be inserting our blue yarn in that corner. So this is how I like to insert my yarn. This is how I like to change color. I'll just put it through like this, tie it, then I'm just going to continue by making 3 chains as usual. So that's 1, this 1, 2 and 3, which counts as a single double crochet. So we're just going to continue making 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into a corner like this. Okay, double crochet. So chain 2 and continue making 3 double crochets in each side space like this. So we just chain 2. Okay, then we're going to just continue the pattern all around the work. Okay, so we're going to continue this row. We're going to finish up this row. Then we're going to make 2 more rows, making it 3 rows using this blue yarn, and I'll meet you back at the end of the 3rd row. Okay, now at the end of the 3rd row, just making the final double crochet, chain 2, then slip stitch at the top of the chain 3. Okay, I'm going to make another slip stitch, chain 1, then we're just going to cut our yarn from here, then we'll pull it through. Okay, this is what our work should be looking like. Now we have a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rows. Okay, and if you join two of the closest corners together, this is what it should be looking like. This is how it should be looking. So now to continue, we're going to insert our white yarn in the corner. Okay, and tie it up. And so we'll just continue. Chain 3, it's 1, 2, 3. So we just make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So we're just going to chain 2, continue by making 3 double crochets into each side space. So using this white yarn, we're just going to make 1 more row all around, and I'll meet you back after. So now I've made it to the end of this row. I'm just going to make my final double crochet. Okay, we'll chain 2, and then we'll make a slip stitch at the top here to connect it. We'll make another slip stitch. Okay, so from this point we're going to stop working in rounds. Instead, we're going to stop here. Okay, so if you join these 2 parts together like this, any 2 corners that are close to each other, if you join them together like this and you place it here, so we're going to just insert our stitch markers here. So at this point we're going to need 2 stitch markers to indicate that we're not going to be making stitches from this point anymore. So we're going to stop here for the sleeve. Now I'm just going to insert the stitch markers at the corners here and here. So from this point we're going to stop making stitches here to indicate the sleeve. So now we're going to continue by chaining 3. So in that corner space, instead of making 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, we're just going to make 3 double crochets. Okay, we chain 2 and make another 3 double crochet. And so we just continue like this round until we get to the next stitch marker. And I'll meet you back when I get there. So now I've made it to the next stitch marker. So So I'm just going to make the remaining stitches for this row. So at this very last space, we're just going to chain 2 and make 1 double crochet. To move on to the next round, we'll chain 3, turn your work. So I'm going to do the same thing again, making 2 half double crochets into these spots. You chain 2, make 3 half double crochets. So we'll just continue like that until we get to the next stitch marker. So at this point, I'm just making the final stitches for this row. Okay, we'll chain 2 and just insert 1 double crochet into the last stitch right there. Okay, we chain 1, and from here we're going to cut our yarn. Okay, then pull through. So if you join the 2 sleeves together once again, this is what it should be looking like at this point. Okay, so now we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 rows. So this is what our work should be looking like if you place the 2 previous stitch markers together like this. Okay, so I'm going to be adding 2 more stitch markers to indicate that we're going to stop at the shoulder points. From this point, we're not going to make any stitches anymore. So I'm going to put another one here. Okay. So now we're just going to be making stitches from this stitch marker to this stitch marker. So we're just going to be working in from stitch marker to stitch marker now. We'll not be adding anything again to the shoulder part. Okay, so I'm just going to insert this. So at this point, I'm just going to chain 3. Then make 2 more double crochets into that space. Chain 2 and continue like that until we get to the next stitch marker. And I'll meet you back when I've gotten there. Welcome back. We've made it to the next stitch marker. Now I'm just going to make a single double crochet into that last space.
I'm so
Chain one. I'm going to cut the yarn. So we're going to be changing colors from this point. I'm just going to pull that through. Very tighten up. Okay. So from this point, we're just going to change to the blue yarn like this. Then make 3 chains. There's 1, 2, 3. Then we'll turn our work. Okay, make 2 double crochets there into this space. Chain 2, and we're just going to go round and round like this. So we're going to make 3 more rows in blue from this point till the next stitch marker. Once again, that's right here. So I'm going to make 3 rows of blue. Okay, this is what it should be looking like. So when we are done with that, I'm going to meet you back at the end.
Thank you, my darling. How many views now?
Okay, so welcome back. We're made it to the end of the 3 rows in blue. So I'm just going to make the final stitches for this row. So 1 last double crochet.
Yes.
To chain 1 and then cut the yarn at this point. And pull through. Okay, so from this point, this is what our work is supposed to be looking like. Okay, so we're going to attach white yarn again. So we're going to be changing color here.
Don't mind me.
Stop.
If you try not to say, you have to take my profile picture yourself. How will I change it? Or how will I change it? It's in a Wonderlands.
Piece of the switch, what have
I mean, you go and off that switch at the back.
No, all of them not for it.
Stop that nonsense. Are you a dog? Let's change it. You collect no. You collect.
Start by making 3 chains. Once again, is 1, 2, 3. Then once again work it to the next point where the stitch marker is. So I'm just going to continue through like that.
I'll slap you.
So we're making 2 double crochets here, and chain 2,
I'm trying to stand it for you.
Don't help me.
chain 2,
Yeah,
and make 3 double crochets into the next chain space. So we're just going to continue like that until we reach the point where the stitch marker is once again. So I'm just going to add my stitch marker at this beginning part, just so I won't forget it. So I'm just going to chain 2 and continue round.
More, I guess I'm going to post. How will I repost? Okay, I'm dying.
So at this point, I'm just making my final stitches for this row. Chain 2. So now the next row we're going to be working in is just going to be one line back, just one line up until this point, just a line back, okay, up until this point.
Who are you?
I'm going to chain 3 once again, turn my work, and continue working in the chain spaces until we get to the end of that line. Chain 2 until we get to this point, okay, and I'll meet you back. Okay, made it to the end. I'm just going to chain 1 and cut.
Right.
And pull through to secure. So this is what our work is supposed to be looking like. Hope you can see it clearly. Okay, so the back side has 2 whites to finish up, and the front side has 1 white. So for now, I'm going to be hiding all this loose yarn with a darning needle. This is what it's looking like. This is the sleeve. This is the total length of the sleeve. Okay, so this is loose yarn. We're going to pull this to secure it. So what we're going to do about all these yarn sticking out is we're going to use a needle like this to hide all of them inside the work. So I'm just going to take this round a few times. Then after that, I'm just going to pull on it so it's really tight. Okay, then we're just going to cut it off. You see, and now I've successfully hidden the yarn. So we're just going to repeat it like this anywhere where there's loose yarn. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for every part of the work that has loose yarn, and I'll meet you back when I'm done. Okay, this is what our work should be looking like. This is the sleeve, and this is the body of it. So there's 2 rows of white for the back side and 1 row for the front side. Okay, this is what it should look like. And so from this point, we're just going to repeat this whole same process to make the other side. Okay, after making our 2 sides, this is what it should look like. So you can just rewatch the video and make the second side of it. It's going to be the exact same thing. So this is how it should look like. So from this point, we're going to want to join it. Okay, so from the point where it ends with 2 rows of white, that's going to be the back of the clothes. So this is the point here, and with 2 rows of white, and that's where we're going to be joining for the back, from up to down. To join, I'm just going to make slip stitches. So I'm going to insert our yarn from here, from this point, tie it up to secure it properly. Then we'll just start making slip stitches like this to join it. So we'll continue like this until we reach the top of the shirt, and I'll meet you back when I'm done. Okay, so now I've finished making slip stitches to the top of the shirt. I'm just going to make the final ones. That's one. I'm going to chain 1 and cut. And pull through to secure. So at this point, this is what our work should be looking like when you turn the right side up. Okay, this is the point where we slip stitch from up to down. So next thing I'm going to do is we're going to turn the work like this, because now I want to start joining the sleeve parts, like the shoulder parts. So I'm just going to turn it up like this. Okay, this is what it should be looking like. So I'm going to make slip stitches all across from one edge of the sleeve to the other using slip stitches. Okay, from this point until you get to this point. Okay. There's supposed to be like a space in the middle because the back side is bigger than the front side, since there's 2 rows of white for each side on the back. Okay, so I'm just going to start from one end of the sleeve. I'm going to start making slip stitches all across until we get to this point right here. Okay, so I'm going to insert my whites here. To this point here, that's one edge of the sleeve. So I'm just going to continue making slip stitches until we get to this point right here. So now I've made slip stitches up until the end of the first sleeve part. I'm just going to take out my stitch marker and make the final stitches. Okay, and since we made the back side of it with 2 rows of white and the front side ends with 1 row of white, we're just going to slip stitch across the 2 rows of whites at the back. Like this. So next we're going to move on to the next sleeve part, which is the top of the shoulder. So we're just going to attach the 2 parts together like this and continue making slip stitches continuously until we get to the end of the sleeve. And I'll meet you back when I'm done. So now I'm just making my final stitches to join it like this. Okay. So I'll chain 1. Then I'm going to cut from here. And now we're done with joining. So at this point, this is what our work should be looking like. This is the wrong side, actually, the side where we stitched. So I made slip stitches for. Okay, and this is how our work should be looking like. The next thing I'm just going to do is I'll turn the right side up. Okay, so that's where we made slip stitches, and it's on the inside right now. So we're going to count 5 spaces as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And insert a stitch marker. Do same in your other side and insert your stitch marker. So this is for the collar. Okay, just make sure the stitch markers are on the same line. So let's turn our work, and we'll start making stitches from one stitch marker to the other. So I'm going to use the blue yarn for this part. Okay, so I'm just going to insert this. Tie it up like this. Then we'll start the collar by chaining 3. Then make 2 more double crochets into that space. Chain 2, and you repeat the same in the next chain space, or just continue pattern like this until we reach the stitch marker. And I'll meet you back after row 1. So now I'm going to make the last double crochet for this row. You'll just continue by chaining 3. Okay, so this is the first row. We'll just turn your work and do the same thing. So you repeat the same process for 5 until we get to the 5th row. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and just repeat until you get to the 5th row, and I'll meet you back when I'm done. So welcome back. I've made the end of the 5th row. You can do as many rows as you want. What is your desired size? So I'm just going to chain 1. I'm going to cut from here. So at this point we are done with the collar, we are done with the full shirt, and this is what it should be looking like. Okay, so thank you for watching this tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll meet you in another tutorial video. Thank you.